In this video, we are going to take one of the extrinsic semiconductors to look at how they are formed. Remember we said we have N-type and P-type, which are formed depending on the impurities that are being used to dope the pure semiconductor material. So before we continue, let's recall the crystal structure of the silicon semiconductor material. We said each of the silicon atoms is surrounded by four other silicon atoms involving equivalent bond. Now, we said N-type semiconductors are semiconductors doped with pentavalent material, which you mentioned some examples to be phosphorus, bismuth, arsenic. Yes, so in this tutorial, we are going to dope the semiconductor material with a phosphorus pentavalent atom. Right. Now let's look at the valence shell of the phosphorus atom. It has about 5 electrons in its outermost shell. Now when we use this to dope the pure silicon structure, it is going to bond with 4 other silicon atoms in equivalent bonds, leaving one of its electrons unbounded. Now this electron will be in the conduction band. So when we dope a silicon crystal structure with a pentavalent material like phosphorus, we are going to get more electrons, right? Now, you guess why we call it N-type? Because the charge on the electron is negative. That is the reason why we call it an N-type semiconductor material, right? So, you can observe that it is this phosphorus atom that is giving out the electron. As a result of that, we call it a donor atom. Yes. So in a semiconductor material, we have two terms where we look at the charge carriers, right? So in the N-type, the majority charge carriers are the electrons, and the minority charge carriers in an N-type semiconductor are holes. These holes are created when electron pairs are thermally generated. Alright, so this is basically how N-type semiconductors are formed. In the next video, we'll look at how the P-type semiconductors are also formed. Thank you.